Coming up in news tonight.
Hurricane Matthew's price tag will exceed the $600 million budget. That story's coming up straight ahead.
The opposition leader reacts to that canceled hurricane insurance policy. That story straight ahead.
Irate road traffic customers told long lines at the sports center this morning. We have the details straight ahead.
Plus, get a taste of global cuisine at this weekend's International Culture, Wine and Food Fest. Welcome to our news. I'm Dana Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight. Damage estimates for Hurricane Matthew may wind up higher than originally expected. Coordinator of the hurricane relief effort, Labor Minister Shane Gibson, is busy completing the assessments for hurricane relief. And according to Gibson, they intend to start restoration immediately. Giorgio Sturrup reports.
Hurricane Matthew carries a price tag of over $600 million, and according to the minister in charge of hurricane relief, Shane Gibson, the majority of those funds will go towards the rebuilding of government infrastructure and helping those residents who can't help themselves to start the rebuilding process. Hurricane Relief Coordinator Minister Shane Gibson says the process of arriving at the $600 million price tag was not easy.
Our technical team, first of all, go out immediately after the hurricane, and along with the individuals from the Ministry of Finance, who would normally look at forecasting and budgeting, and they came up with we also involved persons from the private sector as well, and they came up with a preliminary figure of around $500 million or so.
Gibson says they are still looking into how they will rise the balance once the initial $150 million is borrowed.
We look at raising money through various financial institutions, and I believe that finance already got commitment on most, if not all of it already. And as time goes on, I mean, if we are lucky enough to raise additional monies through private sector donations, and maybe we won't have to go back and borrow any more money. If we're not, then we'll have to look at it again and determine how we raise additional monies.
Now, while the majority of the budget will be spent on the repair of government infrastructure, the only residents that will benefit directly from the $600 million will be the persons who don't make a certain amount of money.
Persons household income of between $250 and $500, we just assist them with the material. Then you got the elderly, you get the disabled, indigent, different categories of individuals who would qualify for assistance. We have persons on the social service program now who we would know automatically qualify for assistance.
Opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis called for a committee to keep track of hurricane relief funds in the House of Assembly yesterday, but according to Gibson, Minnis is simply playing politics.
You have policies and procedures that govern how government money is spent, and then the Auditor General goes and they audit it to make sure that you are following those policies and procedures. So really what the leader of the opposition was saying was really redundant, because what he was asking for exists already, and he knows it exists already.
Reporting for our news, I'm Giorgio Sturrup.
Opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis is blasting the government for canceling a regional hurricane insurance policy that he insists would have paid out a claim worth millions of dollars following the devastation caused by Hurricane Matthew. Minnis called the cancellation a stupid decision and says he is simply not buying the explanation given by government officials that it did not make sense to keep the policy. Jasmine Brown has the details.
Minnis says the decision to cancel the policy was simply idiotic.
You don't need a high school education to make that decision. I don't know how they make theirs.
Minnis also raised the insurance issue in the House of Assembly on Thursday after he questioned the government's participation in the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility. The insurance facility has been around for nearly 10 years, with the government paying a $900,000 annual premium. State Minister for Finance Michael Halkitis responded, saying in order for the Bahamas to receive a payout, New Providence would have to be hit by a Category 5 storm. Halkitis says the government has since decided to put the $900,000 into the Disaster Relief Fund. But Minnis says that simply does not make sense.
And we would have gotten, I understand, about $50 to $100 million. Haiti already got $20 million. And because of their mismanagement and incompetence, the Bahamas is not covered. We're not covered. So we're placed in a position where we had to borrow $150 million.
Minnis is also calling on the government to make public the paperwork associated with the canceled policy.
If this government feel that the information I am giving is incorrect, just as the building in Bamsey was not covered and we asked to see the contract, then show us, the Bahamian people, the hurricane coverage for the Bahamas. Let us see it. If you have nothing to hide, let us see the contract.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
As the Road Traffic Department launched its new automated system today, expecting to rule out fraud and make it easier for customers to register their vehicles and obtain their licenses. Customers who towed long lines this morning said they don't believe the Road Traffic Department was prepared to roll out this system because the process today was more hectic than it was before. Simone Davis reports.
Some road traffic customers towed line after line since 7 a.m. this morning, frustrated at the new road traffic system, calling the process unorganized.
This is the 5th line I've been on. We really had to beg for them to say, you know something, push us aside to the building just to get out the sun.
This is supposed to be ready to be organized. It's not organized. You have to come back for your plates next week and pick up your disc next week. So that's 2 trips you got to make down here.
Many customers say this automated process is more work than the manual process and takes much longer. Garth Cash, who came to get his vehicle registered this afternoon, says the process is confusing. He said he came with proper identification documents and was turned away because he did not have his passport or voter's card.
I think that's wrong, man. Because at least I should be able to use his national insurance card or my driver's license. All of these is Bahamas government.
Tempers flared as residents got even more frustrated into the afternoon when the sun was at its peak. However, the department made sure customers had cold water to drink while they waited. Another customer said she had been at the road traffic department since 7 a.m.
This really don't make no sense. You have to come in here. I reached in here 10 minutes to 7. Nobody was here. I had to tow the line. When I reached there, then they tell me I need my passport. I need my voter's card. I need national insurance card. Come on, and you see the time now? It's 5 to 1, and I ain't going in there yet.
Road Traffic Controller Ross Smith admitted today that the department has met several obstacles in rolling out the new system and plans to make it a smoother process in months to come.
We think we could have done things a little bit better. One, I think we could have staggered it to include persons born during October whose surnames begin with 8, let's say 8 to D, and then the next day we use another group of numbers, etc., letters, sorry. And we believe that would have helped a lot. We allowed everybody to come, so we have to now ensure that all of them are accommodated.
Smith said members of the public should bring proper identification when coming for services such as passport, voter's card, or birth certificate, along with a copy of their national insurance card and driver's license. Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
The introduction of a national lottery as a means to fund hurricane relief efforts is a good idea, according to DNA leader Branville McCartney. Speaking out in the wake of Tourism Minister Obi Wilchcomb's announcement that government is considering the idea, McCartney said a lottery is something his party has had on its agenda for quite some time.
We suggested a national lottery a long time ago, and certainly we would support that notion as part of the means of hurricane relief.
And McCartney noted a national lottery can be used for more than just hurricane relief. It can provide funding for education, sports, and even health care. But although the government may consider the idea, McCartney said he doubts it will actually materialize.
The only thing I think this government is going to produce within the next 6 months is a lot of talk.
McCartney further criticized the Christie administration for being reactionary, only coming up with ideas after a problem rather than thinking ahead.
Everything is reactionary to this government, and I certainly don't anticipate much being done within the next six months before the next election with this government. It's been a reactionary government. It's been a government that's been tainted with ineptitude.
Government should have actually planned ahead and done things like ensure government buildings and control expenditure, McCartney said, so it would have been in a better position to pick up the pieces after the storm. McCartney charged that this Christie administration is a complete disappointment and disgrace, and the Bahamas deserves better.
A national lottery, reduction in the wastage, proper management of governmental affairs, and the elimination of corruption. That's forefront in the governance of the DNA.
Well, voters had rejected the creation of a national lottery in that 2013 gambling referendum, but since then, the idea has picked up steam. When our news comes back, will next month's PLP convention go on as planned? Hundreds turn out hoping to find employment with Island Luck and get a taste of global cuisine at this weekend's International Culture, Wine and Food Festivals. We have the details.